Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihil kareem. Ma ba'd. We were recording Seerat of Syeda Fatima Zahra radiyallahu anha, and in the middle of the recording, due to some mishaps, the camera missed out about 10-15 minutes recording, so we will go over it, and Brother Shahzad will join it with the previous recordings. We missed out from the moment Sayyiduna Ali Karamullahu Wajhahu went to propose for Sayyidatuna Fatima Zahra radiyallahu anha. This is a very nice book of Maulana Iqbal Runguni Sahab, Khatun Jannat Hazrat Syeda Fatima radiyallahu anha. तो तमन्नाए हुस्ने खातिमा अज़ ज़िक्र सय्यदा फातिमा, तमन्नाए हुस्ने खातिमा अज़ ज़िक्र सय्यदा फातिमा. It's in Urdu, and he narrates over here many narrations. He writes that Sayyidatuna Fatima Zahra radiyallahu anha's marriage took place in the year 2 after Hijrah, according to Imam Qurtubi rahmatullah alayhi's version, Ramadan, San 2 Hijri. Ibn Abdul has said the marriage took place in Rajab, San 2 Hijri, but was consummated after the Battle of Badr in Shawwal, San 2 after Hijrah. So whatever the case, Sayyiduna Ali Karamullah Wajhu proposed. Mullah Baqir Majlisi, who is a Shia alim, died in the year 1111 after Hijrah, writes that one day Sayyiduna Abu Bakr, Sayyiduna Umar, Sayyiduna Sa'd ibn Mu'az radiyallahu anhum ajma'in were sitting, and they mentioned the nikah of Fatima radiyallahu anha, and they said that some from among the Quraysh have proposed for Fatima. However, Ali deserves her the most. Why don't we speak to Ali and tell him to go and propose for Fatima radiyallahu anha? So they went to Ali Karamullah Wajhu. He was just returning from somewhere carrying some load. He put the load down and they spoke to Ali Karamullah Wajhu. And he said that I am very poor, I don't have anything and to offer Fatima, so how will I marry her? And they said, don't worry, go. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is very kind, generous. He will provide for you. So Sayyiduna Ali Karamullah Wajhu says, I found the courage and I went to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. وَكَانَتْ لِرَسُولِ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمْ جَلَالَةٌ وَهَيْبَةٌ. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had a special awe, inspiration. So I was very scared. I sat down and I said, and he asked, yes, for what reason have you come, O Ali? And I said, Ya Rasulullah, Fatima tuzawwijuniha. Fatima, can you marry me to her? And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, I will make mashwara with her and let you know. And he says that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam went home and he called Sayyidatuna Fatima radiyallahu anha to help him perform wudu. She brought water, she poured over him, he performed wudu, and then after finishing wudu, he asked her that Ali has proposed for you, your cousin, and what do you say? And she just smiled and she didn't say anything. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam came and he said that Fatima's staying silent is her approval, acceptance. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam accepted, and then he called upon Ali Karamullah Wajhu, what do you have to offer her? And he said, yes, I don't have anything. And he said, where is that armor, metal armor which you got from so and so expedition? I said, yes, I have that. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that go and sell that and see what you can find. So Ali Karamullah Wajhu set off with the armor and Raksha Tashib le apni jagah. Aye na apni jagah baithe. Tashib le. Sayyiduna Ali Karamullah Wajhu, he went to sell the armor and whatever he had, and on the way he met Sayyiduna Uthman Ghani radiyallahu anhu. And he said, Uthman, where are you going? He said, I'm going to sell this armor of mine. And he said, how much? He said, about 400. He said, okay, I will buy it of you. So Uthman bought it of him and gave him 400. And then he said, Ali, you know, you are the lion of Allah and you deserve this armor more than me. Keep the armor as well. Keep the money and the armor. So Ali Karamullah Wajhahu came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and informed him of this. And Rasulullah was very happy. And he made dua for Usman to be given barakat in his tijarat. This is being narrated by Kharzami in his Manaqib. So, Ali Karamullah whose nikah was done, and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam instructed Sayyiduna Abu Bakr and Sayyiduna Sayyiduna Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu anhu and Sayyiduna Salman radiyallahu anhu and others to go to the market and buy some stuff for Fatima radiyallahu anha to give her. He gave them 63 dirhams, and they went, and from the markets they brought two sheets, broad sheets, and some metal grinder, two grinders, two bowls, and leather skin to spread out on the floor to lie down and sleep on. And then Rasulullah ﷺ also told them, bring plenty of perfume for her, because Fatima is a lady from ladies, and ladies like perfumes. So they brought lots of perfume for her. And in this way, Rasulullah ﷺ told Ali to go and find a rented property. So he went and he rented some house. And when then Rasulullah ﷺ told Salama and Aisha radiyallahu anha. And Aisha had come into the house of Rasulullah ﷺ. So Aisha and Salama, who had migrated from Makkah Mukarramah, they both went and prepared the house for them. They brought in some soft sand from outside and spread it out. And this was the simple house of theirs. And they cleaned everything, put everything in its place. They put one long stick on one side and hung the water carrier, mushkiza, on it, and prepared everything. And then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did rukhsati of Sayyidatuna Fatima Zahra radiyallahu anha. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam called for some water, and he read something, and he applied his saliva, and then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam sprinkled that water on Fatima and on Ali radiyallahu anhuma, and then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Allahumma to Fatima, Allahumma inni u'idhuha bika wa zurriyataha min ash-shaytanir rajim. Oh Allah, I give refuge to my daughter, and I give refuge to her progeny, of refuge in you from shaitan, the wretched one. Then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did their rukhsati. Afterwards, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did their walima as well. Aisha radiyallahu anha said, Ma ra'ayna ursan ahsana min ursi Fatima. We did not see a wedding better than the wedding, more beautiful than the wedding of Fatima. And that walima was, فَمَا كَانَ وَلِيمَةٌ فِي ذَلِكَ الزَّمَانِ أَفْضَلَ مِنْ وَلِيمَتِهِ. There was no walima better than the walima of Ali and Fatima radiyallahu anha. And in this way, they started living with one another. Now, we come on to Hazrat Fatima radiyallahu anha's Gharelu Zindagi, house life. She is staying with her. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam comes to visit her often, and he had to walk a lot because the house was at a distance. So she was also missing him, he was missing his daughter. So Fatima said, why don't you talk to Harisa if he can give us one of the houses which are close to the masjid. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that, Istahyaytu, I feel ashamed because he has given a lot, so I don't want to ask him for more. When Harisa heard of this, he himself came and said, Ya Rasulullah, Wallahi, alladhi nafsi biyadi, alladhi ta'khuzu, ahabbu ilayya min alladhi tad'uhu li. What you take will be more beloved to me than what you leave for me. Take whichever property of mine you want. And Rasulullah was happy, thanked him, and he exchanged this property for the other one, and they moved over here closer. Now they are living closer to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And they have their first child, Hassan, then the second child, Hussein, and then another child, Muhsin, and then Zainab and Kulthum. 5 children they have. Muhsin died in his infancy, and the other 4 grew up and they survived Sayyidina Ali and Fatima radiallahu anhuma. Sayyidatuna Fatima radiallahu anha is extremely hard-working lady. She does all the chores of the household by herself. I mean, getting the grains and then grinding them with her own hands, which is in itself is a huge exercise.
Yeah.
And then after grinding, kneading the dough, and then lighting the fire, and then rolling the roti, and then cooking it great. Today ladies want to go to gym. This is better than the gym for them. There is more exercise in here for them. And Fatima radiallahu anha used to go to the well because no running water in the house. She used to fill up the water skin carrier and bring it with her, and she used to do that work. She used to sweep the house until her clothes would get dirty as well, dusty as well. So she used to do everything and do all khidmat of Ali karamallahu wajhahu. And Ali karamallahu wajhahu also used to have pity on her. So once Ali karamallahu wajhahu said that some khadims have come to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, attendants, slaves, so why don't you go and ask your father if he can give us one so you can get some help with the household housework. And she went. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was not in the house, and she spoke to Aisha radiallahu anha. There was great love between Fatima and Aisha radiallahu anhuma. She spoke to her, and Aisha said, when he comes, I will tell him. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam came late at night. After he was busy throughout the day. Aisha told him, and rather than resting, he went immediately to Fatima's house. Fatima and Ali had just retired to bed. They were about to go to sleep. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam came and sat in between them. They tried to stand up. He said, no, sit where you are. And he said, did you come to ask for a khadim? And she said, yes. He said, I'll tell you something better than a khadim. And he taught her Tasbihat Fatima. 33 times Subhanallah, 33 times Alhamdulillah, 34 times Allahu Akbar. Pray this before you go to sleep, and this is better for you than a khadim. As Sheikh Zakaria writes in Fadail Amal, in Fadail Zikr, that the indication is that if you read these tasbihat before you go to sleep, you will get a peaceful night, have a peaceful sleep at night, and all your fatigue and tiredness will go. In the morning, you will wake up as you are fresh, and you will be ready to move forward for the next day. Just the work that a khadim would do, attendant would do for you, these tasbihat will help you in removing that stress which you would have due to those chores. So Fatima radiallahu anha is working hard. After a few days, at that time, all the khadims were distributed, given out. After a few days, some khadims came. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam brought one khadim for Aisha, for Fatima radiallahu anha. And she was extremely modest lady. At that time, she didn't have even fully clothes to cover her head and her feet. If she would cover her feet, the head would open up. If she would cover her head, the feet would open up, and she was struggling. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, don't worry, it's only your father and your ghulam over here. Because that ghulam was a nabaligh, young boy, young child. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you don't need to do parda from him, not from me. So why are you going through so much trouble? So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, this is a khadim for you, and he will help you with your some of your work. And Fatima radiallahu anha kept him for a few days, and then she freed him in hope for the reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had mentioned. She said, I'll do my work myself, but I will free the khadim. She let him off and freed him. So Syeda Fatima radiallahu anha, in this manner, she used to go do all the household work and whatever. Their life with Sayyiduna Ali karamallahu wajhahu, of course we have our ups and downs. They had their ups and downs as well, because Ali kanat fihi hiddatun. Ali had a bit of a sharp tongue in Ali karamallahu. Sometimes he would get angry as well. So Sayyiduna, once Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam came to their house and they were having an argument. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam caused peace between them, and he was very happy. When he came out, he was smiling. Sahaba asked, why are you smiling, Ya Rasulullah? And he said, why should I not smile when I made peace and reconciliation between those two who are most beloved to me? I made peace between them. بِأَحَبِّ شَخْصَيْنِ إِلَيَّ. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam made peace, and then Rasulullah was very happy, and they went on with their life. Inshallah.